All right, what's up, guys? We are back with another one, and today I will be doing a keto cabbage for dinner. So I picked this up at Publix, and I like to take off the first layer just because, you know, everybody's hands have probably been all over it. So I like to remove that first layer before I cut and wash my cabbage, and that is what I am doing here. Put those to the side, and I'm going to now cut the stalk off because I find it easier to split it in half once I cut the stalk off. So that is what I'm doing. And please pay no never mind to my nails. I was getting ready to remove them in another video, so that's why they look like that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that in half so that I can get to the center of my cabbage. And then I am just going to, and I know this might look a little weird, but I'm going to go ahead and cut that in a square so that I can remove it. And I'm going to toss that to the side as well. The stalk is really all that very thick white cabbage that's all bunched up, and I just get rid of that because I just don't want that in my cabbage. So I'm going to take it out of both of them. You don't have to do yours like this, but this is what works for me. And it's just so thick. Look at it. Yeah, I don't want to put those in there. So I'm going to put those to the side and toss them in the trash later. But I'll go ahead and put them in some water and let them soak. And then I'm going to take those out and let those dry with paper towel. I bought some yellow corn also from Publix, and I really like these because it's really a mess-free prep. All I'm going to do is just wash this gunky stuff that's on the bottom. Go ahead and wash that off before I throw them into my pot. But I absolutely love these, especially if you're a busy mom like me. Dinner doesn't have to take forever. I can just go ahead and wash and clean those up and get those in the pot. But here I have some Polska kielbasa sausage, pork, turkey, and beef. And these are the skinless ones. These are very easy for you to cut up. Not only that, I like to use these because I have a 2-year-old, and there have been times where he'd choke on the skin of the sausage. So I've started getting skinless sausage, and it's easier to cut up as well. But I'm going to go ahead and speed this up. And the way I like to cut my sausage is to slice them kind of diagonally because it just looks better. All right, so once I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and gather them in a bowl and set those off to the side. All right, so I went ahead and removed my cabbage from the water after cleaning it. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and take this out and chop it up in not so fine pieces, but in slim enough pieces so that they're not so chunky. And you'll see what I mean in just a second. I don't like the big stocky pieces. So when I cut these up, I'm gonna be removing those from my cabbage as well. And I'm just gonna slice those into just some nice sizes. I mean, slice them how you want, but just for me, I cut them up pretty thin for the most part because I just don't like the big chunky pieces in my cabbage. All right, now I have what I like to call my little big mama pot because I don't have any big pots. But I grabbed these family farm peppers from Publix. These are my absolute favorite because they make dinner so easy. Me not having to cut or chop up onions and bell peppers saves me some time. So I love to use these. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in some, I can't believe it's not butter, into my pot, so that I can get that all oiled up. And then I'm also going to be adding in some minced garlic, and I believe I got this from Publix as well. You can find this at any local grocer. And I'm going to add that into the pot. Don't ask me how much I put in here. I just put enough for me to be satisfied. I don't ever really measure out my ingredients. Maybe I should, but the food comes out amazing anyway. So I like garlic, and I'm just going to go ahead and add as much as I want before I throw those peppers in there. I'm literally cleaning out the jar. So you could put as much or as little as you want. And I'm trying to do this with a very minimal amount of salt. So I don't add much salt to this recipe at all. So I'm going to go ahead and take these onions and peppers that were already pre-cut and put them into my pot and go ahead and saute those. And I like to start these out on high heat just so that I can get the heat up and going, and then I adjust it as I go. All right, once I've had the sauteing just for a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and take my sausage and add that into the pot and go ahead and get those all mixed up and sauteed evenly. And I usually cook these until they are a little like brown. I'm not going to say burnt, but you guys know what I mean, like a little crispy on the sides before adding in my cabbage. So yeah, just give it a good mix. As much as or as little as you want. You can cover this with a top if you'd like. But I'm going to go ahead and let it mix and saute and get all that flavor up in there. All right, so I'm going to start adding in my seasoning. This is Mrs. Dash onion and herb. I really like this because it adds that extra flavor to it. And you can go ahead and sprinkle as much of that on as you'd like. And then I'm going to take my favorite, the garlic powder, and add that in. Again, I'm not doing any formal measurements. I'm really just seasoning it to taste. And then I have this New Orleans Cajun seasoning. I absolutely love this. I put this on everything, y'all. And then I've got another favorite, my white ground pepper. And I'm just going to throw a little bit of this in there as well. And then you can't forget the Goya, the adobo seasoning. Add a little bit of that in there, not too much. And then we're just going to go ahead and whip it up. Just give it a good stir. Moving those things around. Y'all, this stuff smells so good. If this was smell-o-vision, you would be salivating over this. It smells so good. Just look at that. And you want to mix it up. You want your sausage to be cooked all the way. Like I said, I cook these until they're just a little bit brown, not too much, not burnt or whatnot. And I let them sit in there for a while. And I don't know if I mentioned that I went ahead and threw my corn in the pot right there, but I did. And just occasionally I go in and check the pot to see how well the peppers and onions have cooked down, because I don't like those like crispy. You want to make sure that they're still a little soft, but in like medium firm, I guess you could say. And once I am satisfied with how my peppers and onions and sausage look, I'm going to go ahead and throw my cabbage in the pot. Just a little bit at a time. These cook down a lot, so it looks like a lot and that the pot is like overflowing, which it is, but I add my cabbage in just a little at a time to make sure that I don't have like a huge mess that I have to clean up when I'm done. And once I'm done adding all of that stuff in, I just go ahead and give this a good stir, mixing up my peppers, onions, and sausage in with the cabbage so that it can work its way through. As you mix all your ingredients together, the cabbage is going to start to produce a little bit of water at the bottom of the pot, which is okay. It's also great over rice, so don't worry. Just continue mixing that up. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put the lid back on the pot, and I'm gonna let that simmer, checking it occasionally for about 15 minutes. And as you can see, the cabbage is cooked all the way down, but I'm gonna let it cook down just a little bit more to my liking. And to be honest, that's really it, guys. You can go ahead and put this over rice. You can eat it by yourself with your corn, which is what I did. However, I did fix my my boys' side of rice so that they can enjoy it with that, and they absolutely loved it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below if you've tried this recipe or if you are trying it now. I would love to hear from you. And here is the finished product. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.